Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to be showing you a method that is really transformed my listening comprehension in Italian, and I just want to share this with you guys because I think this is such a game changer. I've been one of those people with languages where I've always been very good at forming sentences. You know, when you hear people who say like, "Oh, I can understand what um, when people speak in the language, but I can't respond very well." Well, for me, it was the complete opposite. I could form sentences really well, and but I really struggled to. I still struggle to have a conversation in Italian because I would it would be difficult for me to keep up with what the person was saying. And it's quite dissatisfying that because you think, oh, it's great, I can speak all this Italian, it sounds really cool, you can kind of show off about it and all that, but you can't really get that sort of exciting experience of speaking in another language because you're always slightly on the edge of your seat trying to focus on what the other person's saying. And, you can usually steer it quite easily so that, like, you pick up on a few words and then you respond something quite neutral about that. So like sometimes, just be having a conversation. It's like, oh, he said Naples. Oh, isn't Naples beautiful? So I kind of pretend to have a conversation, but a lot of the time I didn't really feel like I was understanding what was being said. And same with news. I could sort of hear the news, watch the news in Italian. I kind of understand what was going on, but I wasn't really getting into detail. And podcasts and stuff like that, I'd listen to them and I'd kind of get the gist. It wouldn't feel like completely foreign what was being said, but I wouldn't. It's kind of evaded me just how little I understood. So anyway, this has been my big problem, and it's funny because I've been very sort of indecisive about how to improve this. A lot of people just say, "Oh, just consume content in the language that you're interested in, and eventually you'll get better." And I've got a lot of time for this as an approach, but I think, and especially if you need the passion to keep you going in the language. So it's important to consume content that you really love, that you're really interested in. But there comes a problem in this because I wasn't feeling that I was listening. I wasn't learning quick enough. I was consuming I was watching all these Italian films, all these Italian series and stuff. But time was ticking, and I'd go through a whole episode and, you learn a lot of Italian from these things, but there's big chunks where there's no dialogue, like there's a chase scene if it's a sort of if it's a crime film, or there's a big like if you watch Fellini films, there's quite a lot of just beautiful shots of the architecture of the scenery. I watched Satyricon, and which is like this kind of Greek play sort of thing, and like half of it's in Latin, and it's just like I was really blowing my mind. So I wasn't really satisfied as that as like the only way to improve my comprehension because I just wasn't learning quick enough. Um, so anyway, I did a lot of digging about how to really improve my listening comprehension, and this is the method I come up with, guys. So the method I'm about to show you, I find it quite enjoyable, but it's not fun in the way that consuming Italian, films, or you can do this with Italian films, but the process itself isn't actually that fun. It's quite boring and it's quite a lot of hard work. But you will learn Italian very quickly, or any language. The example is Italian. So if you're prepared just to bash this out for like half an hour a day, you'll really see the improvements very quickly, or at least I have. So I'm going to talk through it today. Basically, what you want to get is you want to have some kind of content where there's just constant sort of speech. So this could be, best thing I think for this is the news. because the news is quite fast. I know in a previous video I said the news is not great for learning Italian. I think it is for this kind of stuff because of how in depth we're going into it. The news is good because it's constant talking. There's not a sort of break, there's not a sort of shot of the Colosseum halfway through, it's just talking, and they're talking very fast as well. So it's really hard to keep up with. So find some of this, find, 10 minutes, half an hour worth of content of just sort of constant talking. The one I've got here is 24 Mattino, which is a podcast on Spotify, but frankly, it really doesn't matter. And it's just this guy talking about the sort of news in Italy. And what you want to do is just get this podcast and just click play, okay? I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto diverse volte, e negli Stati Uniti c'è un
Okay, play it for like that amount of time, 5 seconds. Now, I didn't get a lot of that on the first hearing, but what I'm now going to do is rewind and play it again, okay?
tassi, e non sarà il solo, perché praticamente la prospettiva è che ne arrivino due, uno dietro l'altro. Allora, questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto.
Okay, so I've heard the same bit again, and I think we heard a bit before, but I'm going to go from... So now I've got like a couple words from that. So se fosse, I'm not sure that's exactly where we started, but I've got a sort of anchor in there. I heard the word se fosse. And then what I do is rewind and hear it again.
Aumento drastico dei tassi, e non sarà il solo, perché praticamente la prospettiva è che ne arrivino due, uno dietro l'altro. Allora, questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto.
Okay, so now at that time I heard a little bit before that, which was
diverse volte stato drastico dei tassi, e non sarà il solo, perché praticamente la prospettiva è che ne arrivino due, uno dietro l'altro. Allora, questo può avere un senso
Ok, allora, questo
se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto diverse volte, è stato drastico dei tassi, e non sarà il solo, perché praticamente la prospettiva è che ne arrivino due, uno dietro l'altro. Allora, questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti.
Okay, so in between these two bits here, there's a little bit that I can't quite understand. So I'll just go, but what I think I can hear is questo povero senso.
Abbiamo detto diverse volte, negli Stati Uniti c'è un'inflazione da sviluppo economico. Praticamente la prospettiva è che ne arrivino due, uno dietro l'altro. Allora, questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto diverse volte.
And the next time I heard negli Stati Uniti. And on I go, basically just doing this.
Negli Stati Uniti c'è un'inflazione da sviluppo.
C'è una stazione.
Economico, quindi la Federal Reserve ha qualche ragione in più allora, questo può avere un senso se fossimo negli Stati Uniti, l'abbiamo detto diverse volte, negli Stati Uniti.
So abbiamo detto diverse volte. You see what I mean, guys? I'm just playing the same bit over and over again, and I'm just adding bits that I've missed out here and there. And I'll just keep doing this. It's quite boring, so I'm not going to do any more. But I hope you guys see how it works. Basically, you're just grappling onto what you understand with the Italian. You might not be able to hear the whole sentence, but you can make out a little bit like se fosse, to begin with. And then replay the bit again, and you hear, oh, there's a negli Stati Uniti somewhere in there, or there's an allora, and then you sort of piece it all together bit by bit. And look, you're probably not going to get the whole results. It's not going to sound completely. You might miss bits out, like this bit here, probably sense, or I don't think that's, that doesn't poor sense. That doesn't make any sense. I wonder where this is a poor, or something like that. But then vero, so like there are bits that I can't make out. But you just keep playing it over and over again, and you just train your brain to really zoom in on the sounds of the language. And after enough time of doing this, you just start doing it automatically, and you start recognizing where words sort of blur into together, um, very quickly. And you really get your eye in, and it allows you to concentrate on it much better. So this is a bit different to the kind of philosophy that I normally have with language learning, because I think it's a bit this is a bit more academic. This kind of thing, it's a bit more sort of hard work, if you like. But I've been just blown away by the results of this. So I hope this process all makes sense to you guys, and I hope it's been as successful to you as it has to me. And thanks very much for watching.